Now we're going to click on Home and then Control Panel. And then, so we've already went all over this already with the earlier one, license and registration. Now we're going to go over the certificate of administration. So you're a CommVault admin. This one's really critical as well. Why is that? Your CA, or your certificate administration, tells you if you ever have errors in your client and it can't authenticate to the CommServe. It's either a couple different things, but one of those things is actually, is it in the CA? Does it have a CA, certificate authority? It's almost like a token or a validation, like, okay, I'm allowing you to come onto the network. It's different than Active Directory because it allows the media agent or file system agent to actually communicate to the CommServe. It uses it like I trust that um, file agent to talk to the CommServe. In our example, for example, yeah, right. In our example, for example, yeah, right. You have the client, which is the CommServe. Of course, it's active. It knows itself, right? And then you have the Windows Media Agent that was created and it's expired this day, and then it's active. And then the Linux Media Agent that's active and it expires this. So, for instance, you can do, let's see, if you wanted to do a temp, let's do it with Media Agent. That's a little easier to play with there. But anyway, if you wanted to do a temp agent, a temp certificate for that client, you click on temp certificate and choose the client name, right? And then you can create. And what it's going to do is propagate a bunch of, oh gosh, it's going to propagate a bunch of verbiage. Let's see, create, right? Let's just create it real quick. What you do with this is, for instance, in the Windows, you would just create it. We're creating the temp file, temp CA, right? And you copy it to the base certificate folder, exports.txt file, and then you restart the CommServe services on that box. It may not allow me to do this because it's off. The actual media agent, that media agent is actually turned off, so this may not even work. Um, yeah, gosh, I really want to do this too and show you what it looks like. I wonder why it doesn't do that. So I tried to Google some of the stuff, the CA. Um, yeah, right, yeah, yeah, exactly. It's not. In order to generate a temporary certificate to the client, you must first revoke outstanding cert. I'm not going to revoke it for this purpose, but it's a bunch of numbers, like hash numbers is what it actually will give you. So let's close that. Okay. Um, yeah. And what they mean by revoke is just revoke. You know, you click on the client when it comes up. So these are the CAs. Excuse me. When I click on the CA, if I wanted to revoke it, I could revoke it or renew it. Um, yeah, those are the kind of nice features, by the way, when you're troubleshooting. Let's move on. Next thing is we went over this already, I believe. The ComCell. Did we do over this already? I don't think we did. Well, we're going to go over it anyway. The ComCell import export. Click on that. Oh yeah, we went over this already actually. Yeah, we went over this one already. Yep, sure did. Okay. Okay. So if you, yeah, again, if you highlight over it, it'll tell you kind of an idea of what it does. Click on System. We're going to click on System and just see what this does. So this is all on the CommCell, by the way. Okay, here we go. Oh, right. Oh, yeah, we went over this already, where we set up the threshold values, meaning keep 1,000 vents, and let's change it to, like, say, I don't know, 30 days, right? Let's go down here. make that smaller so I can save it. Yep. And let's see, identity management. Configure CommServe and other systems as identity provider. I'm not entirely sure. I gather that this is the identity management and the local identity management. So obviously this is your CommServe, your CA. Oh, this is what a CA looks like, by the way. I know earlier we talked about it, but yeah, redirect. So yeah, this makes sense there. So for instance, let's do one. Let's go add regular. I don't know, test, right? Test, and let's see. Double click on it. So I'm gonna click on local or identity management. Let's click on. Mm, let's click on view, right? Application key, third party. Oh, that's nice. Almost like a generates, I guess, like a token um, where you can. Oh, maybe this is like something you would use for the an interaction with a third-party application. Maybe that's what it's talking about here. Basically, I think this is when you're talking to like a third-party monitoring tool, you would use this in that regard. I believe that's what this is. That's really nice, actually. Really nice feature. Yeah. Let's cancel this. Let's delete that regular. Are you sure you want to delete the external application? Yes, I am. I'm sure of that. Let's quickly. Okay, so identity management. Configure CommServe and other systems as identity provider. Okay, nice. Okay, good. We already went over the storage, expert storage configuration, as well as the media management, as well as the hardware maintenance and array management. Let's click on Volume Explorer. So what does it do? View and configure disk volumes. Cool. Yeah, so I'm looking at my disk volumes. I don't have any associated with this one yet, or this one. I do believe I have the one I had configured before, but I turned it off. So detect volume on selected host. So these are the volumes I have, and basically like if you had like a, oh gosh, like a D drive or something like that, or an E drive that's giant, you could just use that as your volume basically. And let's click on the media agent. Oh, it's offline, so yeah, it won't even show up anything. Yep, that's the case right there. Failed to detect it because it's offline. I turn it off. Memory hog with all these other memory intensive, so that's the reason for that. And then of course the Linux box. Let's do that. Let's scan. If you had like a yeah, so these are nice. It has different, what do you call it, shares or mount points basically that it sees that it can use for. Let's just click on the CommServe, right? Let's do one 350. Well, let's just click this guy here. So mount point, double click on it. Okay, and what are you going to see? You're going to see general, C drive, mount point, C drive, add, specify mount point, job options, do not use for snapshot backups, static snapshots. Okay, let's click on general again, and you can assign it to a scratch pool. You can give it its ID, WWN, worldwide name, fiber channel, iSCSI, NAS, local, LUN, um, yeah, snapshot, SIF share, well, not SIF share, it's GFS. Not exactly sure what that is. Shared disk. So the physical drive, you're going to assign it, scratch pool, and you can assign it a scratch pool. You can assign it to a scratch pool, we're going to do all that. Okay, so that's the Volume Explorer. It's kind of nice. And let's see, what is this? Delete volume from host. Don't want to do that. Click on there. And what else? Okay, now key management servers. Quick Google of AWS KMS and then KMIP and paraphrase. I'll just show you what those look like. So the AWS KMS, that's the Amazon Web Services Key Management Service. Pretty nice looking thing. And then the other one was the KMIB, and the KMIB is on encryption standard, right? But it's a way to get clients and servers coming from different vendors to exchange encryption keys, right? So you'll see here where the key control, the API, the decode. So it's like, I guess it's like a VPN basically. It's not a VPN. It's more like a, I guess I want to call it like a handshake key. Okay, I there's an exchange key, maybe like a I guess, well, passphrase would be a good example actually for that matter. So let's see what that does when we click on passphrase. Okay, click on passphrase here. Okay, key provider. We're going to just do test encryption key 128, whatever the path key is. Okay, yeah, don't do that. That's very long, right? So we'll go test, and we'll go add, and we're going to do the client. We're going to do the media agent location. Of course, it's probably not going to work because I don't have access to it, meaning it's turned off. The actual media is just turned off, so it probably won't work. This is the fun in CommVault, by the way, where you get to play around. I'm just going to close this. Yep, unreachable, right? Of course it's unreachable. Let's just see what it happens when you click on one that doesn't. That's not. Let's do the CommServe. Let's browse. Let's see what it tells us or yields. My dedupe database is in duplication, I believe I put it there. Yeah, so let's just assume this, right? Okay, and okay, let's click on OK. Paraphrase, mandatory to restore data. Store your paraphrase safely to avoid data loss. Stored paraphrase. Okay. Oh, that's that's what I actually put right there is my paraphrase, right? And that's not very good. But so anyway, paraphrase is mandatory restore. Store your paraphrase safely, right? Stored. I stored. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, with CommVault, like version 10 and 11, they do a lot of these things where, hey, make sure you did this, or did you do this? Yeah. Pass phrase. Okay, pass phrase. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Cool. Awesome. So let's click on edit. That's kind of nice. That's a very long, giant character now. That's very cool. After Googling encryption key management servers, so this is a visual representation. This is on CommVault's website, documentation.commvault.com. The storage copy policy, visual representation of when you put a key in, you're encrypting the data. So in this regard, what they're saying essentially is this: when I back up the data, put a key on it. So when I restore it, like in this case, a storage policy, I would encrypt it to the storage policy, or back and vice versa. Then when I back it up, I'm doing the same thing, and then when I restore it, I'm doing the same thing. All the time they have keys. So for instance, like if you go on a private network and you're going off the public cloud or network basically to do all this CommVault restore and all that and backup, then you know your data is secure because you're encrypting it in transition when you're restoring it. It's very nice feature actually. So we're gonna cancel this. We're gonna leave it. I just got to remember my passphrase. Test. Okay, good. I want to close it. Next, so global filters. That's a nice one actually. Yeah, so the filters, you're filtering. You're getting rid of stuff, right? So what would you do this for? You use this for instance, Windows filters. You want to filter certain C drive stuff. Maybe it's a share. So for instance, might have a D drive or a Windows share that everybody uses that you back up with a different policy. So you just filter it. So I don't want all this data, right? You might have on your Windows box, might have like a E drive or a D drive that has a bunch of, well, let's just do here like this. I'll go ahead like this. We'll do, prime example. Let's do like this. So on the Windows filters, let's do something here locally. I don't want to, I don't want to back up the DR stuff because I'm doing another thing. Let's say this one right here. I don't want to back up this. Okay. So click on global filters. I want to exclude this. Exclude, please enter the folder that you, okay. All right. Okay. Okay, want to do that. Enter the file folder's name separate. Okay. All right. I don't want to do that one, meaning I don't want to back up that. For instance, packages. The packages where the software actually resides. I don't want to back up that. That's giant. The data doesn't change. I don't want to back up the duplication. I don't want to back up the DR stuff because let's say maybe I have it pointed somewhere else. Yeah, that's pretty much it right there. I don't want to do all that. I don't want to exclude. So I don't want to back up those. Basically is what I'm saying. Exclude these from being backed up. It's a global filter. You can use master or global filters for master console. You can use the global filters for all sub clients. So for instance, all you have is Windows. You can click this deal here. You know, you don't have to worry about that. The global filter for the master console, you can do the same thing. So the Windows filters, we're gonna so yeah, we're gonna filter that. So we're just gonna say, okay, yeah, we're gonna not back up those things because it's giant. It's just a lot of data, right? Extra data, nonsense data that we don't. Unlike data, doesn't change. You know, we don't really need to. In a lab environment, especially, we don't need to back up like extra software that never changes. Because you can always, a lot of times, you know, what you'll see right in the field, it's, I don't know who does this or why they do it, but well, I do know who does it, but I don't understand why sometimes. What they'll do is they'll have like a file server, right? And they'll put all the ISO files from somewhere, and they'll back it up. You'll back it up. Like, why am I doing that? You know, it doesn't change. You can always download the software from the software, the whoever owns the software, the vendor, right? The other thing, what happens is you'll see in this case in the field when your DBAs, right? Your Oracle DBAs or your Linux DBA, or rather your SQL DBAs, morely actually your Oracle DBAs. What'll happen is you'll back up something. You'll back it up a RMAN or file system, whatever form, right? And what they'll do is they'll actually make a copy themselves of their data in a folder, right? So you're backing up a backup of a backup. They'll keep like a month worth of backup sometimes. They themselves will. So you're backing up like double, and they're not going to tell you that, um, but they do that. Because they are so worried about their data being lost. Which I get it, right? Um, so you could probably actually save the company money if you bridge the gap and you just talk to them, the Oracle DBAs or the SQL DBAs, because that's the benefit of being in the CommVault, your position CommVault admin is you touch every line, you touch everybody basically. Network people talk to you, the Linux people have to talk to you, the Oracle DBAs have to talk to you, Windows, sysadmin, SQL DBAs, some of the programmers actually, the applications that they have to talk to you. So it's a nice benefit for you to actually talk to everybody, all the folks. and you're in all the meetings, of course, because whatever you're doing, or rather whatever they're doing, affects your position. So we're going to leave these filters like they are because I've created them. So we're going to leave all this because I don't want to back up that stuff. It's just a lot of data there. So we've already went over job management under store configuration, right? Now let's click on data interface pairs. Usually referred to commonly as dip switch settings, right? Basically, you have two, um, you have a client and it's somewhere else, Windows client, Linux client, whatever, right? And for any reason, you just can't seem to get it to work. You can't seem to get it to talk to the CommServe for any reason. And so what you do is you set up a dip switch setting, meaning I'm going to logically assign an IP to this, or not logically, but you're saying, okay, um, let's actually just create one, or let's see what it looks like actually. Okay, so select the computer for which you want to define. So first one is the CommServe, let's say CommServe, and then the second one, let's say it's the, well, let's see the Linux box. Why not? Okay, so we're going to click next. So following are the data pair, blah, blah, blah. If no pairs are defined, the host will provide the install, right? So, okay, we know that. So, we get that. So, we're going to add. Okay, so at its core, right, the IP addresses. So, maybe the domain controller is not working or whatever. It's flaky or internet's choppy, whatnot. So, what you can do is, anytime you click this, if you have more than one IP address that's listed on this Windows server, you're going to see it here. And I'm probably going to see something different here. Yeah, I will. So I have two IP version 6 addresses on that Linux box. So I can choose basically to like from and to, like I'm connecting you to, almost like a static line basically from the comm server, the media agent. So let's click next. So what you're seeing is this. You're seeing it say, hey, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to go from the CommServe to the Linux box. I want to be able to connect to you. And then next, data pair. Yeah, so that's pretty nice there. And then you can finish. You know, you also use this if you have multiple IPs again. Like for instance, let's say you have on your CommServe, there's like, you know, in their infinite wisdom, these people that develop or design the CommServe environment, they say, oh yeah, let's put dev and test and stage and prod and all that stuff on one box, right? And you know, we're just going to have a bunch of routing, you know, configuration to make it work, you know. So you're, as a CommVault admin, you have to know like, okay, what is my, you know, dev IP going to my dev client, or my production IP going to my production client. That's what these are for mostly. Because sometimes the CommVault will get confused. Like I don't know where do you want me to go? You know, I don't know what the host name is. You know, or I don't know. I can't see that server for any reason. So you just want to say, okay, nope, you're going to use this interface to talk to this client on this interface or IP, right? Basically. Okay. Changes were successfully made. Do you want to edit the data pairs? And I don't want to do any more on any other computers. No, I do not. No. Okay. DR. Okay, let's cancel that. Get out of that right there. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so now let's click on replication. Your replication settings. So your, this could cause a, not a routing loop. That's not the right term, but a loop. So it's enabling. Of course, you can read it yourself, but you know, let's click on help. It's going to tell you like a little bit more about it. Like, what is this? That's the benefit of a lot of these actually. You know, truth be told, I've never actually used this. I do kind of understand what it does. Um, Seems like to me it's I'm replicating my information from one client, for instance, like the CommServe, to my what Linux box, in this case Linux box, continuously. I'm updating the information. So almost like a, not like a hello packet. I wouldn't say it's like a hello packet, but that's my understanding of it. So that's kind of cool. Okay. DR plan settings. Nice. Okay. Yeah, seems like this is a new one I haven't seen used before actually. Click on help. So okay. Yeah. So this is the settings for the dev test group feature. So one probably I would use actually in an environment myself would be the client boot time. So for instance, I'd change this to probably, what is it now, 10 minutes? I'd change it to 100 minutes. That way, I'm just allowing the comm server to go ahead and talk to it. Maybe not 100. Maybe I'd do like 20 minutes maybe for that. I'd probably do it that way. If it's dev, yeah, dev test, yeah, no worries for that. That's dev, or test. Depending on what company you talk to, they may say, "Whoa, our dev um, is like the production, whatever." But it depends on what company you work for. Depends on what they, you know, their reality is, if you will. But in my case, I would specify it's probably like 20 minutes. The client boot time. Go ahead and there's just so many things you can. There's so many things. Sometimes the network or the latency or whatever. CommVault's one of those things where sometimes it's just too slow or it doesn't work properly, right? So if it's dev, just give it some time. So actually, let's do that. Actually, let's do it 20 minutes here on our case. Yep. Okay. So we already went over user management, I believe, in tools, our user preferences rather. User account management. Do we ever go over user account management already? Storage, configuration, user account, home, user account. No, we didn't. Okay. Let's go over user account information. Oh, okay. So this is where you can change the username of your ComServe, or for sometimes what'll happen is in production environment. I've actually seen this. I actually got an email yesterday about it, actually saying, "Hey, you gotta update your CommVault password, your Dickens service account password, basically. It expires every whatever 90 days or however whatever the AD people have it set to, domain admin people on Windows. Anyway, and well, you go in here and change it actually. Well, you'll go like you'll put it in right, and you'll go change username. You don't want to do change username. You'll click on like the username, right? For instance, whatever it is, right? Password, whatever it is. You know, in our case, it's backup or admin, right? It's going to have to be a master, by the way, or um, you know what? Actually, it has to be a domain. So it's like domain, right? Domain, and then a user, right? And then your password. And then you're going to change, you don't want to change the username. You want to just change the password to something new. And then change password. A couple more characters here, right? Okay. Password. And preview. It's not going to, yeah, it doesn't match, of course, right? We know that. Yeah, this is how you change it actually. And yeah, it's easy if you don't have as many clients. Um, but yeah. So anyway, this is how you do that actually. Change your username or your password or username in the ComServe. Okay, so SQL I data agent. This is important here. This is very important, by the way, because you have a SQL server you're backing up, and let's say your credentials, your username, password for the ComServe, it's not a domain admin, or it's not doesn't have permission for the SQL. Or the SQL server. It doesn't have like what is it, multi-mode, I think it is, they choose, and you're not in the like um, list or the group basically in the security policy of the SQL server. So you can't back it up with your local admin. So what you do is you just type in a username and password that works for that SQL. That's what this is basically. And the other thing is SQL configuration. Some of the things you can click on are actually because your database people are going to be like a little leery, right? But if you show them like, okay, this is what CommVault does, and this is how nice it is, right? Like the one thing they're going to actually look at is this allow differential, right? They're going to actually like that one. So we'll click that one. Uh, yeah, they're going to like that one too. Um, it's like they're going to allow transaction logs for backup. They're going to like this one. They're going to like yeah, backup logs, right? They like that as well. So your friends in the backup world are the DBAs, either SQL or Oracle. They're always looking at the database. They always make sure, and if you can just make sure that they feel comfortable with what you're doing, you're going to have a good time. And they're going to, because what's going to happen is if you don't have that relationship with them from a in the DBA side, it's gonna hurt your CommVault metrics because what is it? So sometimes the transactional logs, they not transactional logs, something with Oracle, where it'll overwrite every. That's not the right word, but anyway, at any rate, your Oracle and your SQL DBAs are very good friends to have, or very good. Just explain to them that this is how what I'm doing in CommVault, and this is why this works this way. That it's going to save you space because if you're like the backup and storage guy, let's say, or girl, um, definitely because they're going to fill up your NetApp filer, your Quantum device, your Hitachi data store, your Nutanix, your EMC data domain, whatever it is, they're going to fill it up because they're going to have like extra amounts of data that they're backing up, like backups of backups. Like, why do you do that? But that's just because they don't know CommVault. They don't understand it. So that's your job is to make sure they know that. Yeah. Okay. So let's close that or cancel. Next one is the browse search recovery. Yeah, I might want to click on this one, show age data during browse and restore or recovery. I want to do that one probably. I'd want to see that actually. I'd probably actually set CommVault with page. I'd probably leave that there default. And yeah, I'd probably the only one I would do is show age data during browse and recovery. Um, okay, the reason why. Sometimes age data. So for instance, like when you do a restore, you're gonna right click on the job or whatever, and then you're gonna see like the data, right? And if it's aged off, you want to see it. And cause sometimes you're gonna see like, oh, okay, um, it's aged off, but it might be on tape, and it's gonna see that. You're not gonna be able to browse to it, but you're gonna see that, oh, okay, it's moved to this tape. And all you got to do is know, okay, I'm gonna go get that tape, import it back in the library, and then I'm gonna be able to restore that data. It's just another way of getting what you want. I mean, of course, usually what they do is they do 30 days. After 30 days, it's on tape. Or 2 weeks, rather after 2 weeks, it's on tape. It's on tape if they use tape, and they keep that tape for however long, right? And so you can able to see the data that you want to see. I believe we already went over the owner permissions in the configuration one, and we've already went over the alerts, I believe it was. Click on home. Yeah, we've already went over alerts. We've already went over audit trail. We've already went over SNMP3 configuration. So now we're at cloud metrics. This is very cool stuff. So we click on it, click on cloud metrics. So this setting works in conjunction with the the health status, dashboard, and SLA status. Those three at the top right here on the right hand side. What happens is this: when you update this or update now, let's click on activity, upgrade readiness, cloud assist. Let's click all that to make sure that installed from CommVault store. Okay, cloud assist is not due, so let's undo that. Configuration, all client groups, right? We're going to available client groups. Yep. We're going to make sure all of them are checked. And data collection, frequency, and days. Let's go, I don't know, 30 days, let's say. Advanced, you're going to do audit and chargeback. We're going to see all that information. And what happens is when you upload now or update now, it's going to say, okay, you want to save the changes, of course, yeah. And this is nice because in the morning time you come into work, let's say, or whatever, or if you just log in, you're work from home and you just log in. First thing you can do a lot of times is you're going to open up the dashboard view or the cloud.commvault.com, whatever it is, and it's going to present to you like, this is what happened last night or the night before or the weekend. Like it's a Monday and you just log in and you see all the information. And this is a good way, so you don't have to log into the CommServe all the time. You just go to this website basically. It'll tell you what happened. It'll tell you, and it's just an easier way to automate everything so that you do less, actually less like tinkering in the CommServe. You just see the overview. This is what's going on. And a lot of the CIO, CTO, right? Sometimes they want to see all these reports, these fancy reports. So this will give you this will enable you to show them, okay, this is what we're doing. This is our trend. We're backing up X amount of data. If we want to, maybe it's like, okay, we're backing up too much data. Why are we backing up all this data? We don't have that much data. Why? It's costing us a lot of money. Is there something we can do? And so, what you can use this for is you can use this to analyze as well. Like I'm backing up, again, the Oracle RMAN backups or the SQL DBAs. They're doing a backup of a backup. Like, no, we don't need to be doing that. And then you'll be able to see that information from this. So I'm updating it, and let's see, it's updating, and it's okay. Yeah, maybe it'll go. So we'll see that after this. We'll see all these information after this. Well, not after this. We'll first go over these, and then we'll go over the new client one, and then we'll go tackle these things here. These, what are they called? Metrics, right. Okay, and now the other thing is the private metric reporting. Click on that. Okay, same kind of thing. We can click on CommCell diagnosis, audit, chargeback, monthly, daily. Let's do like that. Monthly, weekly, right? So not really much difference, other than the upload URL and the download URL. So there's nothing there, so it won't really work for us. So let's put some information in there. Actually, let's do the let's identify the download URL. Click on this. So this is this one here. So the download URL is going to be Control C. I copied it, right? Yep. Okay, that's going to be downloads. Let's see, downloads. Okay, and SQL script. So this is the upload one, or the download rather, and this is the upload. So we're just gonna, since our domain name is, we know what it is, right? We're just gonna change it. We're gonna add downloads, SQL scripts, and then web console. So SQL scripts. Okay, it looks like that's right. So okay, good. HTTP, etc., etc. Okay, download SQL scripts, web console, upload now. Enter valid URLs. Should start with HTTPS and end with WAC. Okay, probably here. Okay, there we go, like that. Please enter valid domain URL. It should start with HTTPS and end with such and such. Okay, so I upload now. Do you want to save the changes? Upload now? Yes. This result will be collected and upload. Okay. Oh, so it's being updated now. So I guess I just need to add the little whack afterwards at the end there. Okay. Let's push OK on that deal there. This one you're probably going to like a lot. SCOM. Yeah. This is what SCOM looks like essentially. And this is our reporting. Looks like a reporting feature in SCOM apparently, right? Anyway, so why is this important to backups, right? You set up your host name of your SCOM, so it stands for System Center Operations Manager. So imagine it like a you ever seen the movies where they have um, like the space shuttle, spaceship rather, rocket, whatever's launching, and they have this like a bunch of team members, right? And they'll look at this screen and it'll say like these all these metrics, right? Basically, well, it's kind of like SCOM system um, center operate system control. Let me actually see what I'm talking about here. Sorry, system center operations manager. Excuse me. And that enables you to look at a bunch of data, look at a bunch of your Windows people basically can log in and say, okay, the backups are working, all is well. They have this tool for a lot of other backup software as well, like Net Backup and Avamar and Networker, Veeam. Probably Bacula even probably has something like this. So yeah, that's kind of a nice feature. So we've already gone over the add remove software in the tools feature here, and the DR backup. I think that was under home configuration. Yeah. Okay. Troubleshooting settings. We went over that already. Name management. We did not go over that, I believe. Okay. If you ever have to do this, just take care for this. By the way, very careful with it because um, let's say, for instance, you need to migrate your CommServe to another host for whatever reason, and you're not using, or sorry, you're migrating your CommServe. It's a physical box to another physical box, whatever reason, and then you have a bunch of like IP addresses that are like 192s and 10 networks and private networks and production networks or whatever. So just take care for this because this can really come bite you in the butt. By the way, when you do a ComServe um, migration, meaning you're migrating it from one Dell server or whatever that server is, let's say, to another Dell server, let's say, right? This is where you do that at, by the way. This is where you prepare for all that to happen. You have your update your data your domain name, but that's not likely unless you get bought out by another company, like you bought out like your acme.com or whatever, and you get bought up by garlicfood.com, for instance, right? That's when you would do it. You update the ComServe for clients. You update the ComServe for clients, and then you update the ComServe hostname. Most likely, you're going to be doing the ComServe hostname, so you're going to be updating that hostname whenever if you've changed the hostname, if you want to without reinstalling ComServe on the same machine, you want to upgrade ComServe for clients. If you have a newly installed ComServe, a different name than the original ComServe, that's one you would use. And then the other one was you if you want to perform migrations, right? So we're going to just choose this one here for, well, it's a DR restore, right? Actually, let's do like this one. So we change the ComServe name and we want to update it on the other one. So we would choose this. We're just going to do this real quick. Next. Here's where you would enter the new host name, right? Whatever that host name is, and the finish. And we don't want to do that, by the way, because we're not trying to break this. So we're going to update domain name. You can do that too. So from the old domain name to the new one, we don't want to do that because we don't break it. And update CommVault, that one. Same deal. We don't want to break it, so we're not going to do any of this stuff, by the way. I just wanted to show you what you could do whenever it is time for you to do that. So you have a couple different takeaways now as a CommVault admin. Name management is your key. That's like, make sure that you love that and you take care for that one. Yeah, so the other one is email, web, and FTP. I believe we talked about that already. We did, yeah, right here. Yep. So, and then the internet options, I believe we already talked on that too. Okay, so the custom calendar, we've already talked on that. Under configuration, operation window, set holidays, we've touched on that a bit. Now let's click on the quick access tools. Oh yeah, you're gonna love this, by the way. So CommVault actually has this cool part, right? So for instance, you want to run a program in CommVault, and in this regard, it would be you'd probably do something like a SSH actually for Linux. But the cool part about this is you can add certain things if you wanted to, and alias name, what type it is, executable file, where's it going to run on, you know, pretty nice stuff, right? And OS type, Windows, Linux, NAS. Okay, for instance here, the remote desktop connection, MSTSC, right? So when you right click on a client, you're able to actually RDP into that from the actual CommServe. That's the cool part about it. So this is what's the beneficial for this, to where you can just, oh, okay, right click on it. And let's show you that real quick. Actually, cancel this. We'll go over to the close this because we're done with this. And then we'll click on client groups, right? And we'll do right click on this. That's a Windows box. And you know that because it has little Windows nearly there. On the older versions of CommVault, they didn't have that. They didn't have a little like Windows Penguin or whatever. You had to just kind of like add one of these looking things. Okay, so I'm right clicking all tasks. I'm going to go to tools, right? I'm going to do remote desktop connection. It's turned off, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like. So it's able to log in. It's not going to work because it's turned off, but you have RDP session into that. So just directly from your CommServe. That's really cool. Kind of nice. Kind of nice. And of course the Linux one doesn't work, I believe, because it's not set actually. I didn't set that on the yeah, you see that this one doesn't actually have where you can click on tools and you can do RDP. But I believe we can set that up actually. Let's go to storage. No. Let's go to tools. No. Home. Control panel. We're going to scroll down to the quick access tools. We're going to click add. We're going to click executable. It's going to be Linux. RDP. Linux RDP. Executable names. Don't know if you want to do that one, but okay, so OS type, we're going to be Linux, Unix rather, Linux Unix. So it's probably going to already have CommCell Media Agent. Let's do like this. Let's uncheck that because there's no CommVault Media Agent, or there's no CommVault CommCell. That's a Linux box yet. Hopefully they do that because they're going to really have a good time, by the way, if they do that, because this is going to be so much easier for people because yeah. So we're going to do a test here. Okay. Executable name. Okay. Blah blah. Let's do like, yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Where is it at? It's here. Alias name should show up. Maybe. Okay. So Linux RDP, right? Let's click OK. For example, if you want to, you're just going to set up like Linux RDP, and you can do that. Just have to get the commands right. And then you just right click on it, tools, and you can RDP into it. So you can add anything you want basically to this deal. Anything you want, customize tools. What do you want to do? You can add to as you like. and it points you back to the same place, customize tools. So that's kind of a nice deal there. Yeah, RDP into the Linux box, yeah, or SSH into it, another one, right? So that's it's kind of nice. It makes for an easier time, by the way. And that would actually help you out too, because that way you don't have to log in or SSH into, say, another server. You can just do it here. Done. That saves you time. Okay, let's go over the this tab here, which is under Home, then New Client. This one's really nice. This is really fancy, kind of nice, and these are the file systems. So this enables you to create a new file system for Windows, Linux, Open VMS. Let's just click on ones I have not familiar with. So Open VMS, that's pretty nice. You have new client. Let's do IBM. Okay, that's nice. Nice little features you got here. And okay, new client, NAS, network share for NDMP, NetApp or something like that. Maybe you have your own Edge drive. That's I believe I think that's what they use for their app, the CommVault app, I believe. It's kind of nice. Client name, associated user groups, storage devices. Yeah. NFS object store. Yep. So this is your storage device, right? Index server. You can put on like a yeah, like NFS, like a open filer, right? Basically, a SAP archive link, client name. So again, you have to probably know how these are set up, or you have a need for them, right? Or you can Google like what they do, like how do you set them up. Object store, kind of nice. Same kind of thing. Associated users and then storage device. HAC. I'm not sure what that is. High availability cluster, maybe? Yeah. I don't think I've ever actually used these before. No, I don't think I ever have. I know I've used SQL cluster before, but don't know if I've used that. So, uh, Hadoop, I think is called. Little penguin. No. What is it? Elephant? Yellow elephant. So if I think they call this thing big data, I believe. That's kind of nice. Yeah, it's kind of nice. So you can pretty much, if you, basically what I'm saying is if you're just wanting, if you're a CommVault admin, this will give you a reason to learn this other technology, just to get your skills up, get your different skills, get your, what do you call it, lowering rather, separating yourself from your competition is what you're doing here. So you get in and you learn this stuff, and okay, click on it. What is this? GPFS. Maybe there's stuff you've never heard of, right? Like, what is that? So you go and you click on it and you Google, what does all that mean? Gluster FS. I know that's a Red Hat. The Red Hat's open source file system, actually, for their yep. Well, Red Hat's open source, but it's their other open source Luster file system or file storage, if you will. Some kind of nice thing. And let's see. So, okay, here we go. This one is going to be the top market, by the way, right here. So, your virtualization of your Amazon, your S3 stuff, your 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 clients, right? So, for instance, the access key, the Amazon client name. It's kind of nice, yeah. Then you have your Microsoft Azure. These are ones that you want to probably look into adding on your CommVault lab yourself, because they're really going to benefit you in your pursuit of income separation from debt. Azure Stack, I think that's something open source maybe. That's kind of nice. This is really nice here. Then you have Docker, that's a new hot one too. So um, a lot of companies are using Docker as well. So it's like a containerized application, like a containerized version of WordPress or MySQL. Instead of using the whole OS, it just uses like a service basically. And I think you have to run it in a VMware as well or a virtualized environment anyway. And then you have Fusion Compute VRM. These are kind of nice things. You can, just Google these, play around with them, put them on your resume as you know them, right? So, for instance, just in these alone, you having the ability to be able to back up these or actually learn them based on CommVault or through CommVault, you have an advantage over everybody else. So this is just like free, basically resume um, power. I'm increasing my resume, my CV, if you will. Google Cloud platform. Everybody loves the cloud, like the cloud. And so that's kind of a nice thing there. New client. So Hyper-V. You know what? I tell you, Hyper-V. It's okay. I prefer I prefer VMware. Hyper-V is a server, so if you have to reboot that server, you're gonna have to reboot your whole thing. Whereas whereas VMware is a Linux box, and rarely do you have to restart that host. Whereas VMware, your patches on your VM, your host, which is your VM, you're gonna have to patch it every Wednesday, so to speak. Nutanix, remember I talked about Nutanix earlier? That's kind of nice, the virtualization platform. Yeah, let's see here. OpenStack, that's a hot topic as well. Seems like they all have kind of the same kind of thing. Oracle Cloud, yeah. Oracle VM, Red Hat virtualization, VMware vCenter. So I don't have a vCenter set up. If I did, I'd use a VSA. So it's over here under, let's see real quick. It'd be under storage, policy, reports. Yeah, right. It's under agents actually. So on the bottom here under agents, and you would see virtual server there. We're not setting it up as a virtual server. We're not doing a VSA on this deal. So click no. Okay. So the other thing is new client, and we'll go to the Citrix Zen server. I think this is a free one. Same thing with it does the same thing with VMware or ESXi host basically. The one thing that's not in here is Proxmox. That's a open source virtualization program as well. I'm sure it'll work. You just have to set it up. Your cloud apps, cloud mail. That's kind of nice to see that. Yeah, you're backing up people's cloud mail, Gmail. It's kind of a nice feature. Their Google Drive, you're backing it up. Although it'd probably be cheaper just to use Google to do that. Microsoft OneDrive for business. Most likely you're doing these cloud apps as a secondary backup. Um, Google's pretty good. I don't know why you would do a secondary backup for your stuff unless there's something that says you have to have that data in house and not on cloud Google's Drive or whatever. That's the only reason you probably use it because they're pretty reliable. Google and Microsoft, they're pretty reliable, pretty beefy infrastructure, way better than Although Microsoft does actually use CommVault for their VMs when they back them up. And your email, let's see, your email, I believe it's your email. Yeah, that's backed up with CommVault, I believe. But I know the VMs are definitely backed up with CommVault rather. I'm sure they use other vendors as well, like Veeam, because they probably don't want to be just one. So, yeah. Salesforce is a hot topic as well. If you know Salesforce or Salesforce admin, you can, because it's a new thing nowadays. It's very new to people, and so it's been out a while. But technology is how it moves, right? So you know, you're given a chance to use CommVault and just an excuse. Okay, I'm going to do all these other things as well. Amazon SQL, that's kind of nice. This is really nice here. Amazon's a great company, by the way. Azure SQL, yeah, that's kind of nice. Okay, now the one, okay, so here we go. You have your S3 cloud storage. That's one to learn right there, actually. Your, what else? You got your Azure Blob, your, okay. Okay, now we're getting the ones that make you money as a CommVault admin, right? You do these things well, you're going to be well. You're going to be well known. You're going to be having great credibility. And these are the application and the cluster servers. So the exchange, that is your exchange DAG. So that's your mailbox, basically. I believe so. Yeah. And then the other one is the exchange mailbox. So user mailbox, journal mailbox, content mail store. Let's click on user mailbox. So you're backing up this information for people. That's kind of nice. You do a little test here, right? Storage policy, we don't have anything set up, but well, we do, but it's offline because it can't go forward. So yeah, that's for another time, perhaps another tutorial. At any rate, then you have the rack, RAC. It almost looks like it's Oracle to me. Yeah, it is. Okay, Oracle. Yeah, right. Yep. So it's kind of nice. Yeah, and then you have the what do you call it? IBM DB2. I don't. I've never used DB2. I've never even installed it or seen it in live person. I've seen Oracle. I've seen SQL. I've seen MySQL. I've messed with MySQL before, but I've never seen DB2. But I know it exists and it's been around forever, probably. HANA, SAP HANA. HANA means one, I think, in Korean, so I'm not sure why that. What's that about? Let's see, new client, and then we'll go my MS SQL AG client. Interesting. Microsoft SQL, right? Obviously. And SharePoint Forum. Yeah, everybody uses SharePoint. This is your ticket right here. You're the person. You're the person that backs it up for them. Make it happen. 2013, 2010. Back up their SharePoint forum here. Okay, so the next one is going to be Windows cluster. You would have this. This is like we call it virtual interface, not a virtual interface, but it's like you have two clients, two servers connecting off of one client name and a host name. And so why is this important? Yeah. So why is this important? So for instance, you might have two SQL instances that are mirrored that you would use that in the clustering one. So Windows cluster, well, that setting actually would help you out in that regard. Or you might have two servers that need to be up at all times. They're file servers, and you treat them as one device because that's how they are. They're treated as one device. Same thing with a Unix cluster. Unix clusters are a little different though. I know Solaris, they just do things a little differently than Windows does, and for that matter, Linux in general. It's different. I mean, it's Unix is Solaris, Debian's Unix, and then Linux is like Ubuntu and Linux Mint and Red Hat, right? Anyway, so then you have your big data apps. That's Greenplum. I've never heard of this actually. That's kind of, but it's kind of neat to see it. Again, the same thing. The more you talk these, you see this technology, maybe you can learn it and then put it in your S or your CV so that you can have some knowledge about it. I know that Facebook uses Cassandra. I do know that. I have heard that before. So that's your way to get a job with Facebook or something like that. Basically, the company uses it. The other thing is, what are we going on here? We'll go down to, okay, let's go to, okay, so others would be reference copy, query reference copy client or reference copy client. Okay, client name, and you're gonna file system configure agent. That's kind of nice. Never seen this before. Let's do this. Let's do copy client, right? Client. Let's just say file system. Let's go Windows file system. Okay, let's click configuration, push OK. Appears I have to put a host name in. Oh, that already exists. So try a different host name. So I've already, because I had to close my Java browser. We'll do client, copy client 2. The problem is there's no feedback here. So I don't, when I click OK, it doesn't give me anything saying, hey, I've done something, you know. Let me click on the actual, oh, okay, it went away. Okay, we'll click on, what, view alerts, right? Hardware alerts. So I pulled this information about reference copy and what it looks like or how it's viewed, basically. So the reference copy here, this client copy, it's reference copy essentially. So remember we did this, we did new client, and we did reference copy. So basically it's like this. I have a client, I'm backing it up, and if I have a reference copy, meaning that reference copy is going to be pointing to another media agent library somewhere, and that enables me to copy the actual information. It usually doesn't. They say it doesn't work on tapes well. It's not made for tapes. It's made for just spinning disk. So that's just kind of a nice tool, actually. The next thing let's look at is remote client. Remote client is basically I'm at the local box here. I'm logging in basically to the remote client on this other side. I'm able to see everything, the CommServe and all that, and it supports RDP, VLC or VNC rather, SSH and all that. So that's kind of a nice thing. Um, yeah, so I'm able to view the like CommCell console basically on another client through mine. So for instance, I had a Windows server here, and I'm logging into my um, CommServe or my other server that has ability to talk to CommServe, and that's what that essentially means. I'm not able to do it here. Doesn't allow me to do it. Let's see, collect CommServe. Let's do it here. Okay, so enter a remote CommCell username. Okay, I'm not setting this up yet, so just wanted to show you what it looks like. And yep, so cancel this. Okay, now let's go to the index server cloud. Index server cloud. So it's index. So they say like index cache, right? Or index. That's like data of metadata or data about your information. A lot of times, your index cache is going to have settings or previous backup information, and basically this is just pointing that adding that information, or you're uh, accessing it or setting up like a cloud, index server cloud. Yeah, that's pretty much how I understand it. Yeah. So the other one is the Content Analyzer Cloud. A lot of these are just new features, seems like, for version 11. So clients with content already installed or no client. Okay. Content Analyzer Package. Please install new client with Content Analyzer Package. Content Analyzer Package. So Content Analyzer Client. Content Analyzer Package. The software that performs entity extractions operations. Let's see. During the entity extraction, no data is stored on the content analyzer. While the content indexes data and entire entity metadata are stored in the content index directory of the search engine client. That's kind of nice. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I see. So the content analyzer, um, you identify the data in your environment. So a specific type of information, you can use that knowledge to target more strategies, increase the efficiency. This is actually a good thing. Actually, this is nice. Compliance search, archiving, data cube. That's really nice. Yeah, yeah. Locates, yeah, specific types of data. So, for instance, you might have like a, oh gosh, like a PDF or like, oh, I know. Here we go. Images or like movies. People like save movies, back them up. We don't want that. You don't want to save movies. Um, or music files, right? Um, yeah, just get rid of that stuff. Don't back up that stuff on your CommServe because they can just re-get it from whatever Amazon or whatever the environment they have it from. That's not what it's for. That's not what backup's for and CommVault's for. It's not to back up your movies, right? That you can just easily download, for something else. This is an enterprise environment, and your songs or whatever. That's for somebody else. So that's kind of nice, yeah. So I think we've viewed them all. I think we've gone through them all a little bit. Yep, we sure have. So awesome. Okay, so we're gonna now go through the web console, admin console, health, status, dashboard, and SLA. Okay, so this is the web console that you're logged into here. That's kind of nice. So this will give you a lot of nice information, your virtual machines, your event, your storage replication, your store. You can download, install updates and all that. So we've already downloaded a couple things. So let's go to event organize events and surveys, storage replication. Let's go to store. Build your own apps. That's nice. Wow, that's nice. Let's do that one. Let's make this screen a little bigger. So we're going to add one. Don't have one, but let's do new. What is that? New. Click to add component. Report. Tools. Loading tools. Reports. No reports found. This is nice. So you can click on disk library. Well, let's see. Audit trail, restore, user group and user permissions. Let's click on that one. I know to yield some results. Or click here, right? Click here. Okay. Report. Okay. Description, right? We would. Let's go here, and we'll go done. Okay. So we'll go finish. Enter the name of the app. Name. Finish. Enter valid form name. Valid name for the app. Untitled. Okay. So test app. Okay. Finish. So we finished it, looks like. We go to CommVault again. Or better yet, let's do like this. Let's do like that. There we go. Console, web console. Okay, we'll go there. Okay, the other thing you can do is do store. I know we talked about it a little bit. You can download the software. You can also click the store. So download, you know what? Access the download, install latest software upgrades, and then ask you to log in to the cloud. So it'd be like ma.commvault.com essentially, or no, it'd be cloud.commvault.com. It'll actually look like this. So we can do, let's see, contact at meshedtext.com, right? And okay. All right. So contact at meshedtext.com. Log in. Logging into the cloud is different than the ma.commvault.com actually. So you see the similarities here, right? So you see the similarity with the console. So some things, this is about your environment, and this is the cloud.commvault.com, right? So the store, you can download stuff from the store. You can download, you can do reports, you can do cloud appliances, Kind of nice. A lot of cool things actually. The one thing I wanted to actually download was, I'm not sure if they have a scrubber, like a log scrubber that you can actually use to scrub your logs files. Let's see, logs, because you won't be able to scrub the log reader, log monitor, send. Okay. Oh, okay. Files to scrub. Right. Nice. Oh, it's pay for play. Oh, you have to buy it. There's how they get you right there. Transaction. So yeah. So send log file scrub map. Let's do that. This is kind of nice, right? By the way, if you don't have this, you should get it. By the way, if you're a CommVault admin, it's worth the money to get it. So sample screenshot of this. So it'll take your IPs. Well, that's what it's hopefully it's designed to do that. It'll take your IPs and scrub them. And let's see here. So nothing. Okay. Yeah, it'll take your. Hopefully it's designed to take your IP addresses. Yeah, right here. You see this right here? That domain name gets rid of that. The yeah, legacy IS. What is that? Yeah. So it's kind of nice. Yeah, really would be beneficial if they actually just give it away for free. Like a scrubber, because nobody's using it. Not a lot of companies use these actually. By the way, let's see how much it costs. You gotta have a premium membership. Okay, contact your CommVault rep to get a premium membership. Okay, so I guess not. Okay, so now that we've gone over the console, the web console, let's go over the admin console. Okay, just to recap, we know what the web console is. This guy right here, my applications, various things like that. Now we're on to the admin console. That's going to tell us about our specific actual CommServe itself. So kind of nice thing about this is it has a dashboard, a number of servers, the critical events last 24 hours. This is what you'd look into when you first go to work, let's say, or you log into your system, let's say. You would see a lot of these nice features: configuration, the monitoring portion about the jobs. Again, this is here. The administration, the CommCell, the servers, the license. You can see all this here. The what servers are present. Your storage. In our case, our storage is offline, so you won't see much. But in yours, you might see a lot actually. Well, you would see a lot more actually, really. So the storage pools. Yeah. Okay. So I have two storage pools. I have a storage target, but it's offline, so that's probably why you don't see it now. Right. Oh yeah. Here we go. See. So your storage targets are offline. Just a lot of nice information about the admin console on this. Security, about your, let's scroll up a little bit. Let's go here. And your, let's see, users, user groups, roles, a list of all your users. If you want to add a user, this is what's cool about this. I can add a user from here. I can import bulk users, which is so much easier than doing it through the CommServe itself. Very, very cool. Very nice feature. Kudos to CommVault for making this type of product. So that's the admin console. Now we're going to click on and we're going to view actually the health status. So I've just previously, let's see if I go here and I go bookmarks and I've done health status. Okay. Okay. So what am I doing? My backup, my reports as a general flow, but gets a little bit, it doesn't tell you as much information as the dashboard view. So let's click on the dashboard view, and I believe it's, well, dashboard view would be the same thing essentially actually. So let's see here, analytics. Yeah, this is kind of nice little feature here. They have some of the file analytics, the dashboard view, or one could say that the dashboard view could be here as well, which actually probably stands to reason. It probably is closer actually to this right here. It's just when you click on the link that I'm likely to go to either one of two links, the CommServe /web console or it'll go to the admin console. So sometimes you have to name it. Like in my case, I've actually gone and bookmarked them. The only thing I didn't bookmark is that dashboard viewer. But so this is the dashboard viewer. Brief overview from a high overview, I guess, about the servers. Nothing really going on about it. Right. Yeah. So let's go back to the dashboard. And okay, so finally, probably my favorite one, right, is the SLA status right over here. So that one is going to be, let's see, I will click on it. I will go to bookmarks. I will go to SLA report. This is just a representation of that dashboard view I was talking about earlier. And this is the just a really nice feature about it. Health status, dashboard view. So just note the URL. So this will be your CommServe name here, and that's the admin console. And then this is like these server dashboards. Usually it's going to be the same every time for every CommServe instance. Usually they put that like the same kind of path. So the SLA report, or the health report, health status, is actually probably more likely here under your CommServe / web console / health JSP, which stands for Java Server Pages. So I'm going to close out some of these other ones so that my computer gets a little higher memory, basically. Out of my store here, let's see, gotta close this store one. I'm going to close this cloud.commvault.com console one. Okay, close this one out as well. This is an example of a health report. So you see here, you have the critical, you have the warning, the good, the info, and just not lots of nice information about your environment that you could use for your benefit. Capacity planning, SLA, and then finally the SLA status. So this one is really nice. It says client group, you met your SLA, you missed your SLA, we missed our SLA, okay. Your threshold, just lots of nice information that you could use to just help you decide on your